but I wanted to try out the really good slow control on the Juki to see if I could actually use it for free motion quilting, and was pleasantly surprised to find out this is the best machine I have, which is mechanical, which is not pedal power, not treadle power, and it does a perfectly good job. It's really, really very controllable. So I thought I would demonstrate some of the free motion embroidery on this machine. So this is just a test subject. It's not a real thing, because I wanted to try this out first and just see how the needle control, the speed control, would work on this machine. So what I've done is I've set the machine to the slowest speed that it will sew on the speed controller, and then I have within my power to do one stitch at a time if I so need, or I can have it go regularly at this slow speed, which is perfect. Actually, it is the speed you need for very complex free motion embroidery. And then of course if I stomp down a bit more on the foot, I can speed it up even more when I'm doing my straight runs. And if I have to do a lot of straight stitching, just fill stitching, then I can use the speed controller on the machine to allow me to do this faster. But I'm not in that much of a hurry, so I've just left it at this slow speed for all of this test. So I've got a size 11 needle and embroidery thread in here. And you can see I can do my side to side zigzag because the speed is right. So I'm just absolutely thrilled that this allows me to do this kind of precise work. It's the only machine I've got, except for some of my digitals, and even those aren't all the best for this sort of work. It's still difficult to control. The only thing I wish this did have was a needle up position rather than down. It would be a little better if I wanted to do some of the complex open work. But I think I could probably learn to just control it, and for the last stitch press the button to lift the needle. But I'm absolutely delighted that it works so well. You can see I can speed it up there when I'm doing straight runs as opposed to the zigzags. So, as usual, when you have a very good machine, sometimes you're delightedly surprised that you suddenly find another little thing it can do extremely well. So I give this just really good points. The hardest part of actually doing this on this machine was to find a way to lower the stitch tension, the upper thread tension, enough to so it didn't pull the fabric. So it's practically at zero, which is just quite something. But it worked, which surprised me and pleased me. And I can slow down. Oops, I shredded the thread. I'm not using a top stitch needle, so you expect that problem from time to time when doing the big layers of stitching. This embroidery thread isn't all that strong. It's not meant to be strong. Okay, so we'll anchor those stitches. And off we go again. Okay. You can see it's lovely and quiet, which is really, really nice. Okay, now on to the curved bit. So here's an example where you can actually speed this up. Fill in the can still get to the super sew speed. And so now on to the body here. We need to do our short and long, just so we have a difference in texture. flight feathers. Probably around the outside, and then onto this flight feather here, which we'll do is satin type stitch. Oop, shredded the thread. Oop, not fixed itself. That's good. Sometimes you have to pull the fabric taut if the hoop's not keeping it 100%. I find this definitely helps to secure the stitches if it's not grabbing quite right. So this is where you need really slow control, that this machine is fantastic for. So getting very wide manual zigzags that you've got to do myself. Travel now. I will probably, I'll lift this up in a moment so you can see the final result. And here we'll do same short and long. And last but not least, And there's the final result, just a little bit of playing about. So that was my first attempt, and I did borders around the outside, and I thought, not all that thrilled with that look. So this one I decided just to do with texture, and I think I'm a little more happy with that result. This is a flower. The blue was just blue thread I had about, so I wanted to try to see how it looked, but just a bit of a play. So it works very well.